overcome Uruguay to claim the final berth in next year's World Cup finals. Interesting to note with the warm-ups, Australia were out warming up for probably 35 to 40 minutes, but the Uruguayan team, this is the first we've seen of them. They have not been warming up on the pitch at all, which is just a little bit surprising in a big match of this nature. The Uruguayan fans, as you can see on the bottom of your screen there, just above where the players are lined up for the national anthems, there's quite a few here, but there are many, many, many more Australian fans wearing green and gold all around the MCG. It is quite a stunning sight here in Melbourne. What a contrast too to the match 9 days ago when Australia played against the world champions France, and it was a horrible, miserable night, but it's quite glorious here on this Tuesday evening. The Uruguayan players meeting the relative dignitaries. Ian Knott there, the chairman of Soccer Australia. Behind him, Basil Scarcella, the former chairman of Soccer Australia, now heading up the Oceania Confederation. Well, Uruguay, it is widely tipped. In fact, there can't be any doubt about it. Will be a defensive team tonight. They will put a lot of players behind the ball early. It will be very difficult for Australia to break them down, but the emphasis in this sort of two-legged scenario is for the home team to win at home and score goals at home. And that's exactly what's on the agenda for Frank Farina's Socceroos here tonight. 180 minutes, 90 minutes here, another 90 in Montevideo on Sunday. And we'll know who'll fill that final spot in the World Cup. General consensus is that 2 goals would be a 2-goal advantage, that is, would be a terrific result for Australia here tonight as we take in the national anthems.
Esta patria o la tumba, libertad o con gloria.
Well, number 20 for Uruguay is Alvaro Recoba. Very much their danger man. We now take in the Australian anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty. Australia fair, in joyful strains, then let us sing advance. Australia fair.
an awesome sight as Australia embark on yet another World Cup adventure. I'm sure you all know that it's 28 years since the Socceroos made the World Cup finals. Can they manage it this time? Well, Frank Farina boldly named his team yesterday without a hint of hesitation whatsoever. He knew what he wanted to do right from the start against France, and Stan Lazaridis will continue down the left-hand side to end speculation that Harry Kewell was the man for that particular job. Kewell will, like he did versus France, hang back off the target man Mark Viduka. Only 5 international goals between the two high-profile pair. Now is the time to add to that tally for sure. Well, Sean Murphy got the nod at the back ahead of the now-fit Tony Popovic. This is the biggest game in every one of these players' career. Harry is the man for Australia. The number 10, he was quite brilliant against France 9 days ago. He made his debut back in 1996. He was just 17 years of age at the time. He's made sporadic appearances for Australia in those 5 years, but without a doubt, he is the key to unlocking the Uruguayans tonight. Well, Uruguay line up with just the one striker. Javier Chevanton is their main man. He'll be backed up by 2 speedy, skillful individuals in Alvaro Recoba and Federico Magallanes. Their main man in midfield is Pablo Garcia, who will look to release the front 3 with his astute passing, and the man mounted at the back that Australia must somehow bypass is Paulo Montero. He's up there with the best in the world. He holds this Uruguayan defence together. Alvaro Recoba. He earns more money as a footballer than any other man on the planet, including any of the Frenchmen that you saw 9 days ago. Involved in a passport scandal in Italy. He was playing there under a false passport. He hasn't played any club football this season. So how fit is he for one of the biggest matches in his career? We'll have to see. The man in charge in this very tense atmosphere is all the way from Italy. It's Graziano Cesari, who will be the man with the whistle. Could quite possibly be in for a busy night as well. The general feeling amongst the observers of the game is that it will be a very tight, close contest. 4 years ago versus Iran, it was a barnstorming beginning by the Socceroos as they sought to overwhelm a hesitant opponent. Frank Farina has hinted that patience may be the key tonight. Australia must contemplate on how to break Uruguay down. It won't be easy, but goals are certainly the commodity that the Socceroos are looking to deal in big time tonight. Good evening, Paul Wade.
It is a great evening, isn't it? Great to be an Aussie on a day like this, whether you support soccer or you don't. Just a fantastic...
There's Emerton helping it on. An early ball, a deep ball, it will just stay in, hasn't it? No, it's gone out for a goal kick. Or perhaps Australia will make that same start they did 4 years ago. That's a terrific beginning.
Yeah, it certainly is. They do need to hit that target. All right, having all the possession in the front third, but they've got to hit the target, test this young goalkeeper out, who is number 2 at Juventus. And what better way? He's probably got a few nerves as well. Goalkeepers always do. They need to make that first save. If he doesn't, then the rest of the evening is set up for the Aussies.
It's well won in the middle of the park. It's time here for more to just play it wide to Lazaridis. He's got a lot of room. Straight away, Uruguay back off. As Lazaridis runs at them, the flag stays down. Viduka, players waiting in the centre. Viduka ran into a wall called De Los Santos. And Recoba helps it on to Garcia. And Uruguay come away, but that'll be an easy one for Murphy and Mark Schwarzer. Tactically, Paul, we expect the Uruguayans to drop very deep, not just the back three, but also the two in the centre of midfield who almost dropped back onto the defence. They leave some more room for the likes of Ocon and Skoko. We'll see.
Well, just looking at it at the moment, they've got a back three, and their two wing backs are dropping into a line with a back three, so they're basically defending with 5 and 2 in front of the central defenders, so that's 7.
Look at that for an effort by Rakova. Absolutely astonishing, just inside the Australian half, and Rakova put it underneath the crossbar, and Schwarzer, his heart will be beating well and truly after that. Brilliant stuff. That's why he's the most well-paid player in the world. But here come Australia. Wellington being patient, not giving away a free kick. That's to his credit. Here's De Los Santos with a long ball. It'll be cut out by Moy, who get there first. And he kept it in brilliantly as well, taking no chances. Skoko back to Mark Schwarzer. An ideal time to bring in Craig Foster. How is it from down on the ground there, Craig?
Well, it's an incredible atmosphere down here, Paul. The crowd has obviously streamed in. I think we've got close to 95,000 people in here, and what a wonderful start for the Socceroos. As Paul Wade said, the Uruguayans are dropping off deep, and that's exactly what the Socceroos would have hoped for. And Mark Viduka getting on the ball early, along with our wide men, Stan Lazaridis, and this man, Harry Kuehl.
An early cross, and Lazaridis cut out at the near post. Already Viduka more involved than he was against France. Graham Arnold and Frank Farina feel that the South American teams aren't used to playing against a big target man. It's not something that there's a lot of in South America. So they're hoping that Viduka can ruffle a few feathers and use his height and build as the throw comes in from Ocon. It's one in the air. It's an Australian corner. The crowd goes up. An early goal to the Socceroos would open this game wide open. Lazaridis will take it. A set-piece goal against France, remember. Lazaridis took it from the opposite side. Good header! Oh! It was the same man as well. Moore from the corner. It was a straightforward cross. Moore leapt superbly. And that was a top save from Carini. I don't think Craig Moore can believe that. That was a brilliant save. More to come, perhaps. Moore moving around in the area, goes to the near post. Skoko back to Emerton. Running at the defence. Just tried to thread a ball there through for Mark Viduka. Opportunity now, Paul, for Uruguay to try and take the sting out of this Australian start. They'll slow it down, really take their time perhaps.
Look, they'll knock it around. They're not bothered whether they get 30 passes, 50 passes, as long as the Aussies haven't got the ball. They think that possession is 9/10 of the law, and while they've got it, the Aussies haven't, they can't score. That suits them right down to the ground.
It's well won by Murphy. Uruguay have players forward. One of them is Chevanton. Also back there, and that's a trip by Chevanton on Moore. He was involved at both ends early on in the game. Craig Moore's goal against France was his second international goal. Craig?
The intent is clear from the Socceroos, Paul. The buzzword all week from Frank Farina has been patience. Even though we've been on top in the first 5 minutes, when Uruguay have had the ball at the back, our boys are content to drop back into our half, let them have the ball and play from there.
Yeah, it must be tempting for a player to want to charge in, especially in an atmosphere like this when he's really pumped up, but they have shown great discipline so far, Australia. It's exactly what Uruguay want, is for the Socceroos to charge forward and try and get the ball off the defenders. It leaves more space further up the field. Javier Chevanton, this is just his third international game. It's a big night for a young player. He's only 21. He's been scoring goals in the hard hardest league in the world to score goals, which is Serie A in Italy. 4 in 7 matches for Lecce, and that was quick thinking by Recoba. How alert was he just to spot that Chimonton had taken off, and he was offside clearly, but speed of thought and fleet of foot, it's a tough combination to beat.
Well, that's how they scored against Argentina around about a week ago. They defend, bang, over the top, beat the Argentinian offside trap and scored to get a 1-1 draw and send them over here to the Oceania region.
Ocon with the ball into Viduka. He skips away from one, and that was a great idea, and Everton is onside here. Little back heel, it's delightful stuff. Harry Kewell onto the left foot, Kewell tries the shot. Kewell again. Little ball over the top was aimed for Viduka. Well, it's bright, it's exciting. This Australian team has a really flared side to it. It's a team that can surprise and come up with innovative moves. And it can also tackle hard as well, and cleanly as well. Tony Vidmar, decision not going his way. Just a word on the referee, Graziani Cesare. He's a very experienced referee, and he cleanly played the ball there. Here's Recoba. Gigu. Thought he might be able to leave it for Schwarzer, but wasn't 100% sure, so he took it himself. Everton outnumbered there, 3 players closing him down very quickly. Says Paolo Montero, who plays for Juventus in Italy. That's a terrific ball out from the back, and here's Recoba. And there's a free man down the left-hand side in Gigu as well. Australia forced to do some defending. Muscat does it well, but Gigu wins it back. Can't play. Now Muscat goes long. Viduka got a head to the ball. Time here for Tony Vidmar. Out to Harry Kewell. Lazaridis back in support. Kewell goes on his own.
He's in that positive frame of mind again, isn't he, Harry Kewell? Every time he gets it, he wants to have a go at the guy in front of him.
Certainly looks in the mood. But after that France game a week ago, the bar of expectation for Harry Kewell has gone up even higher. Skoko shielding the ball well. Lazaridis just nodding it back to Tony Vidmar. Not a lot of room or time on the ball at this stage, but Lazaridis now looking for some options. Does well to just go back and keep it and bring his captain into the game. Ocon. Back with Ocon. Quite a young team, and it's not a team of old heads, but the marking on Recoba is just a little bit slack. He's on that left foot of his. That's a great ball out wide to Gigu. Uruguay putting some pressure on here. An important tackle. It's been kept in. The ball has not gone out yet. Gigu with the cross. Australia win a free kick. But just a little hit there on what Alvaro Recoba is capable of. His nickname is El Chino, and you might be able to see why there, because he just has that slightly Chinese look about him, so his teammates gave him that nickname. He hasn't played any club football this season because he's been banned playing in Italy with a false passport. That ban has now just been lifted, so when he goes back he'll be able to start again, but in the meantime he's been asked to do social work back in Italy right until next June. hard to believe with the salary that he's on, but he's also doing social work as well. It's one of the anomalies of our game. Craig Moore, one of 4 players in the starting lineup tonight that started against Iran 4 years ago. As a long throw comes in, Schwartz is off his goal line, but he drifts back to it. That's gone out. That would be an Australian throw. .5 minutes gone at the MCG. Cool. Can't keep it in. Australia went back. Ocon. This will be a Uruguayan throw this time as Ocon goes tumbling right in front of the Uruguayan bench. Well, over the years, Australia has struggled to win the big matches, the crucial matches at home in the World Cup. Being more involved in the game. That ball runs through to Schwarzer. Just for a second there, I thought Rakova was onto it, but Schwarzer releases it quickly to Kevin Muscat. Not goes short to receive it. Trying to get into the game more and more. Already he's had far more touches than he did in the first few minutes against France, and it's 0-0 at the MCG. Sure, went between 2 of them and was tugged back. Just a little look at the referee from Harry Kuehl. Wants the ball again. As we take a look at the replay, there was no way through that wall of players. As Viduka loses out, Muscat takes over again. An early ball from Moore to Vidmar. Australia forced to be patient, really, the way Uruguay are defending so well. Rakova. Despite his incredible reputation, he's only managed 1 World Cup goal in 16 qualifiers for Uruguay, so that's a statistic which will give the Australian team heart. As a result of the fact that he just hasn't been playing all those club matches, and just a question mark against a number of these Uruguayan players on the fact that they don't play regularly for their clubs. It's a similar situation that Australia were in 4 years ago. Many felt that that was what cost Australia their place in the 1998 World Cup. So will the Uruguayans run out of steam in the second half of the game? That's a question we can't answer just yet, but it's a free kick to Uruguay. Viduka backing into limbo. Schwarzer will get there first. Overall, Wadey, your thoughts on the first quarter of an hour? So it's a pretty even start now that the game's settled down.
Well, you can always tell by how involved the crowd is in the game, and they're loving every minute of this. They've kept possession well, and they've kept possession well under pressure. Stan Lazaridis now, this is what he didn't do against France. Good on you, Stan. That's what we need. That's what Frank was talking about.
Sean Murphy at the back. He may yet come in handy at set pieces, Sean Murphy. Tony Popovic, fit for this game after missing out on France because of foot problems. Farina didn't want to change anything. He was happy with the way Murphy played. Ocon Turns forward, Kuehl going in behind. That's a terrific ball from Ocon. Kuehl now will run at the defence. Skips inside. No problems with the challenge there by Paulo Montero. He'd be one of the hardest players in the world to get past in that situation, but here come Uruguay now with De Los Santos. Man who's based in Spain with Valencia. De Los Santos again. Danger for Australia here. Muscat tidying up at the back and doing it very well.
It's a wonderful ball through from Paul Ocon there. He has been short of a gallop in the last 6 months at Middlesbrough, but last week's game against France has certainly brought him back into the fray, Paul, and that's the pattern that we're all hoping to see for Australia. Ocon with a through ball to Kuehl.
Well, he's going to come in and hit a Uruguayan on the way through, and it will go for a goal kick. Craig, to me, he already seems far more involved in the game than he was the other night. He seems to have a lot more room and time on the ball.
Yes, he does, and in a sense, the tactics of the Uruguayan side has really played into the hands of the Australians. We need Ocon on the ball. Skoko also was slightly quiet by his high standards last week against the French. And when the Uruguayans back off into their own half, it allows our midfield to come deep and pick it up. And we know that that really is the strength of Paul Ocon. His vision is wonderful, and his passing's there to match.
Viduka's ball control is there for all to see as well, brought down very nicely on the chest. Muscat told to just go back a metre or two. Farina is up off the bench with some instructions to Tony Vidmar, who's the closest Australian player. There'll be a chase on here, be hard to reach, but it's been kept in. Oh, how did he keep that in? Stood on the ball after some great work, and Everton pressures again. This is Chevanton. He's having a tough time of it against Sean Murphy. The surface on the MCG is quite perfect. Ideal for Australia's passing game. Just a little bit astray from Raw, but Zaridi's made the most of it and ran straight into couple of players there just waiting for him. Here's Rakoba, skips inside onto that left foot. There's Harry Kuehl, he's got a pretty good left foot of his own, and Kuehl comes out on top. And he thought he was fouled, and he was. The referee agreed with him.
He's not just a ball player, Harry Kuehl, is he? He fought tooth and nail for that one. Went and chased it, tackled, almost got away. I think the back of his boot just came off.
Ocon feeding the ball for Kuehl. That will be an Australian corner. Up comes Moore. And up comes Sean Murphy, and Harry Kuehl is hovering on the edge of the area. There's big players in there for the Socceroos as Lazaridis goes to the back post. They win it again. Well, Sean Murphy has scored 3 goals for Australia, all of them from corners or free kicks. The 4th goal tonight would mean quite wonderful career for him, because he only made a Socceroo debut last year at the age of 30. So it's all been a bit of a whirlwind for him. He's thoroughly enjoying his football now. Viduka have a little nod back. Ocon with the early ball. Kuehl will challenge. Lazaridis helped onto him quickly. Kuehl's down the line. Lazaridis comes inside, trying to find Viduka. It's a pass that went astray. In terms of pedigree, Uruguay much better World Cup pedigree than Australia. They've won the World Cup twice. In 1930, the first ever World Cup was won by Uruguay. They also won it in 1950. They haven't qualified for 12 years, so flags up for offside. And for a football-crazy nation, not to qualify for the World Cup is, it's a national disaster.
too many spots where there is grass, and where there is, you can't see the grass for the number of players playing on it. They are crazy when it comes to football.
I've got a toe in there, and Thais for Uruguay just helped it on. Muscat will let it run. Skoko, that's a nice little ball from him. Kuhl's free down the line. Everton plays him early. Everton thought about leaving it for Muscat, but into the area. Viduka using it well. Well, he's got an enormous frame, Mark Viduka. The defender couldn't see the ball. Fourth corner for the Socceroos. Felt disappointed with his game against France. Mark Viduka, he's vowed to make amends. As Lazaridis comes in with the corner to the near post. Room to move it out wide there. He's closed down. Let's just go for the corner if he can get it. The ball's still in play. Everton still going. Almost made it past two. Here's Ocon now on the edge of the area. Plenty of Australian shirts forward. Muscat. Kuhl with the beautiful switch of play. Ocon is out wide on the left-hand side. Lazaridis. It's a great ball in at the near post. Coming in hard with Skoko, but Uruguay come away. They've got some players forward. Helped on quickly to Gigu from Thais. Chevanton making the run towards the ball. He receives it. Murphy behind him. Well, surrounded by Australians and a free kick given.
Well, there's a superb passage of play by the Australians. The Uruguayers were deep. They had 10 men behind the ball on the edge of their box. The boys were patient. The ball from Ocon out wide to Lazaridis, exactly the plan as Farina had planned it during the week. A lovely ball in from Stanley. A lot of conjecture about whether Q would play on the left or Lazaridis. That's the reason why Lazaridis is there.
Well, he's a long way out, but nothing's impossible for Alvaro Recoba. He's whipped it across, and it was nowhere near the goal. But it's 0-0 after 25 minutes at the MCG.
Choosing the right travel loan.
Australia have had a lot of little psychological wins coming into this game. The ace Uruguayan marksman Dario Silva was injured in their last match against Argentina, which was a 1-1 draw. He's dislocated his collarbone. He may be available for the second leg. It's still uncertain. Also, the Uruguayans face some difficulties with the return trip. It's 2 sets of travelling for them, just 1 for Australia. Uruguayans having trouble getting seats on the plane. So little things going Australia's way.
You would have thought in a football-mad country like Uruguay that even though they have missed the plane, that they might even organise a chartered plane with so much at stake. The Socceroos are out after that Uruguayan game in Montevideo. They're straight back to their European clubs on a chartered flight because they don't want to upset their clubs. You thought Uruguay might do the same.
Yeah, I agree, Paul. It's not great organisation from their point of view, but beneficial from an Australian perspective. Everton hasn't had much joy down that left-hand side, right-hand side rather, for Australia against Gigu, who's on the left for Uruguay. Here's Kuhl, skips past one, tried to help it on quickly to Lazaridis, but well cut out by Lembo, who continues forward. This is Chevanton. Ball goes out to close him down. That's very well won by Ocon. Now Australia. Everton takes off down the right-hand side. Skoko helps it onto him. Kuhl's at the back post, Viduka through the middle. Everton ran out of space and time, but Australia still had the ball.
The There's just a couple of times when the Aussies are charging forward, especially out wide. And times I think Harry Kewell and Mark Viduka are filling the space that should be left for the two wide men to hit. It only happens every now and again, but Harry's working so hard across that forward line, he just gets himself in the way of the likes of Stan Lazaridis and company.
Ocon with a crisp ball back to Moore. Ocon again involved in the game. Moore again. Lazaridis is taking off down the left. Moore's running out of options, but he finds Skoko. Space on the right for Kevin Muscat getting forward. Ocon again. Australia building up nicely. Kewell. Emerton. By Chevanton to De Los Santos, but Uruguay not getting too much time on the ball and certainly not being able to do much with the ball when they do get it, because Australia's pressing game is just proving a little bit much for them at the moment. It's the best passage of the game for an Australian perspective. They're really on top now. Kewell gets past one. There's two to close him down. That's a brilliant ball and well cut out. Uruguay's under pressure now as we close in on the half-hour mark at the MCG.
They just don't know where he's going to come from next, do they, Harry Kewell? He's worked right across that forward line. Nobody's picking him up in particular, and in the end, nobody picks him up.
It's a better corner from Lazaridis. That's a good save as well from Carini. Fabian Carini, he's club is Juventus of Italy, which is one of the giants of the game there, but he rarely plays. He's played one 90-minute match so far this season, and the season starts in September. They had one Champions League game against Celtic, conceded 4 goals that night. No signs of any lack of match sharpness from him so far, though he's looked very competent indeed. Yanis. That's a good tackle as well by Murphy, an important one. Pablo Garcia. Haven't seen too much of Pablo Garcia. He came to Australia with a big reputation as being the leader in the middle of the park. But at the moment, Uruguay going nowhere. It's Kewell involved more and more, as is Ocon, which is pleasing for the Australian team, I'm sure. That's a foul by Lazaridis. Let's see what the referee's got to say about this. There's some complaints from the Uruguayans, and Mr. Cesare is coming over. As we saw the replay there, no doubt it was a foul, taken from behind from Lazaridis, and the referee would not let the trainer on from Uruguay to see to Chevanton there while we were watching the replay. He waved the trainer away and told Chevanton to get up.
When the French left, they said that the crowd was inhospitable. They weren't friendly at all, even though it was a friendly. They thought they deserved a lot more respect from the crowd. Calls of "get up" were not really appreciated by the French. Well, they're copping heaps tonight, the Uruguayans.
Well, this is Recoba trying to give Australia heaps, and they got past two without much difficulty there, Alvaro Recoba. Maybe the shot being so wide is just a further chance to underline the fact that he just hasn't played that many games. Played in both of Uruguay's World Cup qualifiers. They played a week ago. Their last 3 results, in fact, have been 1-1 draws.
Yes, his shots have been off target, Paul, but there are dangerous signs for Australia. He looks the one man for Uruguay that could unlock the defence.
That's not a bad effort either. Trying to surprise Schwarzer was Federico Magallanes. He's having a great season as well for Venezia in Serie A.
How many times have you seen shots like that bounce off the keeper's chest? That was a good save by Mike Schwarzer.
Duca, stopped by Montero. Zarides takes it quickly to Ocon. Skoko. Kuhl. This is Muscat. Little ball from Muscat, and offside was Mark Viduka.
Well, I don't know about you, Craig Foster, but I think these Uruguayans are quite shocked at the treatment they're copying in their front third. Number of tackles that are going in from Skoko, Ocon, Craig Moore, etc., etc.
Yes, I agree, and in particular Harry Kuhl has been prominent in the first half hour waiting. He's obviously been given a very free role by Frank Farina, in stark contrast to the second half last week against France, where he's playing out wide on the left, and people weren't sure where he would play him. He's, of course, so important for Leeds on the left-hand touchline. You just feel with a free role, and here he is again, and he's the man to unlock it.
And he's trying to unlock Uruguay here, and that's a free kick on Kuhl. The first card of the game.
I've never seen 90,000 people stand up at the same time. Well, I have now.
Well, it's Dario Rodriguez, the man guilty there for the intentional trip on Harry Kuhl, and a defender on a yellow card is a potential soft spot for the Uruguayans. As we take a look at Kuhl here, just too skillful and too fast, and probably Dario Rodriguez, in fairness, was a little bit hard done by there. I thought he got a touch on the ball, but he pleaded a case for innocence. It wasn't given. The referee saying wait for the whistle, and interestingly, I just throw into the mix the fact that Paul Agostino has been warming up for the last 5 minutes for Australia. He'd be ideal in this situation. Free kick, all just taken off the head there of Kuhl by Rodriguez again.
They've worked that one at training. Usually it's Murphy that swings around to the far post. It didn't quite go far enough from Stan.
Corner for Lazaridis. Goalkeeper came but didn't get there, but he was backed up well by one of his defenders. That's going to be a free kick this time to Uruguay. There's a player down. And this time the trainer's allowed to come on. Time holding his back.
This is just what the Australians want. The pace of the game has been frenetic. And if you play at this pace for 90 minutes, the Uruguayans are not going to be able to last the pace.
Well, 10 minutes to go until the break here, and it's still Australia 0, Uruguay 0. Back on the park, and the boos go around the MCG, feeling that he was making a bit of a meal of it. Australia's half, no doubt about it. Craig, as I mentioned a few moments ago, Paul Agostino warming up just behind you. Perhaps you can throw us your pearls of wisdom on what you think Frank Farina is thinking of, with Agostino warming up so early in the first half.
Yeah, I've seen Graham Arnold, the assistant coach, off the bench, looking very animated, talking with Mark Viduka, trying to get the message across. I just wonder whether the Dukes has taken a knock in the last few minutes. I didn't see him signal at all, but it may well be that it could be a straight swap, Agostino for Viduka.
Down. Ocon takes control. The other alternative perhaps is he feels that Agostino can make a big impact in the air up front, and perhaps Lazaridis to come off and Kuhl to go out wide. We'll see. Perhaps at half-time the change will be made. And no change from the Uruguayan defence, and another corner to the Australian team. That's 7 now for Frank Farina's men. A side like Australia that has a reputation for scoring regularly from set pieces. It's one to the back post this time. Kuhl met it cleanly on the forehead and just put it past the post.
There he is. Murphy starts at the nearest post, closest to where the corner's being played, and then peels off to the far. Harry just maybe calling at the last minute. You can see a bit of a chat going on, Harry and Murphy, as to whose ball it really was.
I saw the Uruguayan training session the other day. They were practicing defending near-post corners for about 20 minutes as a result of that goal against France. So consequently, Australia pinging a lot of them to the back post. And the likes of Murphy and Moore are coming in. Picked up a loose ball. Now he gets to turn and face an opponent, which is his preference.
They won't dive in, will they, the Uruguayans? They know how tricky he is on the ball. They're giving him a lot of respect at the moment.
Moore quickly back to Vidmar, to Ocon. Much room for him to move there. He just feeds it out wide. That's a terrific ball from Tony Vidmar. Kuehl takes it. Well, there's not much in the game that Harry Kuehl can't do, and that includes hitting them from 25 metres. There's Paul Agostino. He's been down there for at least 10 minutes now. Chomping at the bit for a piece of the action at the MCG. He's got to the ball first, but conceded a throw in the process. I spoke to Rally Rasic yesterday, the coach of the 1974 World Cup team, the only coach that's taken an Australian team to the World Cup. He was adamant that Australia would qualify this time. Oh, look at the space here for Emerton. Uruguay stretched. Emerton taking on his man, and he wins another corner. He hasn't had too much return out of his marker today, Brett Emerton. Well, this one hasn't been given. It's a goal kick, is it? Shake of the head from Emerton. The referee felt that it came off the defender, then hit Emerton and then went out. Montero got there first. This is Magallanes. Ocon, lovely little touch back from Ocon. There was an early ball in for Lazaridis by Vidmar. Vidmar's been caught out. Here comes Recoba. Oh, that is outstanding by Tony Vidmar. Clean tackle, winning the ball. Making amends. The ball's played into Emerton. Fallen nicely for Skoko. Kuehl. Chance for one-on-one here. Montero going over to take him. Skoko. Ocon. Space for Lazaridis down the left if he can keep it in. A little awkward bouncing cross, but Uruguay handled it well. Oh, Tony Vidmar. Look at this. What a match he's having. The oldest player in the Australian team. Here come Australia again. Muscat with the opportunity for an early cross. That's an easy one for Carini.
Well, at any one time when the Socceroos do attack, there are 6 blue shirts in that 18-yard box. So they are definitely getting the numbers behind. The Socceroos are playing it the right way. They're getting it wide to Stan. They're getting it wide to either Brett Emerton or Harry, who makes the run into that area. Keep stretching them across that 18-yard box. Eventually something will open up.
Tony Vidmar has had a terrific match so far. This is his 52nd for Australia. He's the most experienced international out there, and it's showing tonight. Magallanes just trying to help it on. It's well kept in. Emerton. To the feet of Kuhl, who was very closely marked there, but Australia get the throw. Kuhl wants to get on with the game quickly. Australia look long for Viduka. Oh, that's very nicely done. This is De Los Santos. Very big team, Uruguay. That'll be easier with Schwarzer, but Muscat just took it off the fingertips of the goalkeeper. I was about to say, they're a very tall team, a very big team, particularly in midfield with Gonzalo De Los Santos and Pablo Garcia. Three big men in the centre at the back as well. Montero on the ball, not only big, but a big heart and a big name, earning big money in Italy. In the final minute of the first half, Ocon, it's a stretch for that one. It was a great ball by Moore. This one's a more testy one for Lazaridis, and he can keep it in, which he has done. He's got behind Tays. And it's a good ball in, but a terrific cross from Lazaridis really from there. But an easy take for the goalkeeper.
Well, I was disappointed with his last game against France, but he has shown a clean pair of heels tonight. Every time Paul Ocon gets the ball, he's off into the corner. He really is running Tays ragged at the moment.
It was a beautiful ball through from Craig Moore as well.
Managing to stay on side and win another corner, no doubt about this one. It's just before half-time too as well. Remember France, it was about now that Moore bobbed up for his goal. The same corner as well. And we have got 1 minute of time added on, so there's about 50 seconds left in the half. This time Kuhl goes out for a bit of variation. Surely Moore couldn't do it again. Plenty of shirts in the centre for Australia. Well, Carini, for a man who's only played 90 minutes for his club once, has looked a top-class keeper.
Again, it's so comfortable for Australia at the back, but the ball from Moore earlier, Paul, was so important. Uruguay dropped deep, and our boys are playing largely in front of them, trying to get behind. But when they do push on, as they have done on rare occasions, Murphy and Moore have shown a tendency to play the ball over the top of them, and that's important. It says to the Uruguayans, if you want to push onto us and try and make it hard, we'll exploit the spaces in behind.
Lazaridis trying to do just that, but just strayed past the last defender. Well, there is half-time. There's no doubt Australia have the upper hand here at the MCG, but no goals to show for it so far. Craig Moore had a header in just the 3rd minute, which pulled off an unbelievable save from Carini. It's been Australia's half. They've probably had 60 to 65% of possession without finding a way through, with an incredible corner count in Australia's favour. At half-time at the G, it's Australia 0, Uruguay 0.
Offsides, couple in shots, 6 and 5. You can see shots on goal.
CD just about set for the second half. Here's Paul Williams.
Thanks, Sandy. Welcome back, everybody. The second half about to get underway here. Frank Farina has made a move at half-time. Paul Agostino will partner Mark Viduka in attack for the second half. We've already seen that with these two strikers, there is great synergy. Can they make it count for the Socceroos in the next 45 minutes? The man to make way down the left flank is Stan Lazaridis. So Harry Kuhl goes back to the position where many thought he would start the game. Paul Wade, your thoughts?
It's not a bad move. I thought he might have given the boys another 10 minutes, but you know, Stan Lazaridis, even though his game has improved from the game against France, how could you resist Harry Kuhl out there on the left, supplying Agostino and the big man Mark Viduka.
Muscat looking to supply across for the couple of big men in the centre now. Agostino's brilliant in the air. Carini. Well, maybe Frank Farina felt the goalkeeper had too many easy crosses in the first half. He wants to ruffle him up a bit and get Agostino in there, putting some challenges in. Oh, look at this. Rakoba. Ocon facing him. Rakoba ran straight into Skoko, who made it look easy to dispossess Alvaro Rakoba. Everton now. It's calm play from Montero. Uruguay will be trying to hold out for a 0-0 draw. Everton on the ball, across into the centre. Lembo doing the job on Viduka. Carini thought about coming, but decided to leave it to his defender. Great work at the back by Alejandro Lembo. Viduka making his way to the near post. He hasn't had a sniff at goal so far, Mark Viduka. But he doesn't need much to put it in the back of the net as Skoko takes the corner. Oof, just looked like a header there for Agostino. Kuhl. Ocon. All the way back. Muscat out wide. Skoko stayed wide after taking the corner. Oh, that's a great run by Muscat to join in. Still going Muscat. Players out wide. There's Harry Kuhl. Into the area goes Kuhl. Great pace. Well, top class defending there from Uruguay. Well, the change of pace from Kuhl there was quite extraordinary as Australia hit double figures for corners. Takes his time, just takes that little bit longer, Kuhl. That's flicked on. There'll be a challenge on the goalkeeper this time. Well, it's not a bad idea, Paul, I don't think, to get a couple of the big lads coming in on that young goalkeeper.
Well, I'm sure that's why Agostino is in there. Now you've got a little bit of quality out wide on the left, and I'm not saying that Stan is not quality. You can be guaranteed that ball will float in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. And Carini, well, he'll have some doubts then. Do I come? Do I not come? If he doesn't, Viduka's got a free header.
Kuhl kept it in somehow. Agostino already involved in the game to good effect. It's just a wild clearance. It was one that almost paid off for Uruguay there. Schwarzer onto the left foot. Craig Foster, your thoughts on the substitution?
An excellent one Harry Kuhl showed last week against France, but his greatest impact came in the second half when perhaps the opposition's legs are starting to get a little bit tired, as Paul Waite said at half-time. We know that Harry Kuhl is super fit and super confident here tonight. Get him running at players out wide on the left-hand touchline and supplying some balls for Viduka and Agostino. We've got a lot of power in the air up front. It could be the key.
Well, Rakoba now at least 40 metres out. That's a good ball in! How close was that for Uruguay and De Los Santos? Free header. He's a very tall player. He's the tallest player in the Uruguayan team. And it's hard to see from that angle just how close it was, but Schwarzer was nowhere near that left-hand upright.
Well, they've probably had two chances all evening, and both of them have been very close indeed. Both of them have involved Rakoba, one with the audacious shot from about 45 yards, and that one where he whipped it into that danger area.
Ocon just hit the pass, and Australia win it back. Now Ocon can turn. He lays it off early to Tony Vidmar. Three Uruguayan players warming up. Oh, here's Kuhl. This is brilliant. Kuhl into the area. Well, the difficulty there for Australia is Kuhl got past two players there, and he still had another two to beat once he got into the area. That's a tall order at this level. Good throw. It's an intelligent header. On, trying to get to the ball first, but Moore has been first to everything tonight. Oh, that's surely a foul. Oh, it's gone against Agostino.
Well, on this occasion, I'll go with the Uruguayans. He really made no attempt to get up there and head the ball. He just leaned into the Uruguayan defender. And eventually, he went over the top of Agostino.
Just a little bit of shove from Paul while the Uruguayan was in the air there. A little bit of a lean into him with the shoulder, and he's come down on his knee, the wrong angle there. And in fact, all the conjecture during the week, Paul Wade, was about the spitefulness of the South Americans at times, the cynical tactics. It's been a remarkably clean game.
It has. The coach said it would be. And congratulations to him and his team.
Recoba taking on two, getting past it. That's great play. Schwarzer pushes it out. Moscoco was there, and it was important that he was. But we see the danger of Alvaro Recoba. He got past two Australian defenders there with just a drop of the shoulder, and he was gone in a flash. 25 years of age now, Alvaro Recoba. He's close to his peak, but they say 27, 28 is when a footballer is at his best. There's danger here for Australia from the set piece. Frank Farina did say during the week that not only is Recoba extremely dangerous from free kicks, but corners as well.
He's not only got a swerve or a curl on the ball, but it dips as well. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether he could teach anybody else to do it, but if he could, he'd make an absolute fortune.
He already does. Well, Uruguay have already played 18 World Cup qualifiers in the South American group. That's a huge campaign that began last year. Won 7 of those games, lost 5 of them. They only scored 19 goals in their 18 games, enhancing their reputation as a team that is not brilliant going forward, but mainly because they concentrate on not conceding at the back. Conceded just 13, fewer than any other South American team in those particular qualifiers. That's a nice play. Uruguay coming into the game a little bit more in this half. Moore underneath it. Danger here. This is Gigu, played across. Moore was there again.
This is a period where if they are not going to dominate the Socceroos, they have to be solid in defence. You can never dominate for 90 minutes, so Craig Moore on your screen there has got to get numbers behind the ball now. Just ride out the tidal wave and then get back on the horse and away you go again.
That is a very good cross indeed. Skoko helps to complete the clearance. Here come Uruguay again, two waiting in the centre. Scoop ball is an inventive idea. Ironically though, Paul, the more Uruguay come into the game, the more opportunities there is for the likes of Kuhl and Everton to move forward in more space on the counter-attack.
Indeed. Play the Uruguayans at their own game, the counter-attack.
Nice touch on. Tony Vidmar had to turn. He wasn't sure where the ball was there for a second.
Of course, the only problem with the counter-attack system, Paul Wade, is that we concede territorial advantage to the Uruguayans, and when you've got the likes of Recoba getting good possession in and around our 18-yard box or in our defensive third, that's dangerous.
Yeah. Australia 0, Uruguay 0.
I think you see
Threatening the Australian goal, but the match is certainly opened up considerably. Skoko. How deep are those midfielders? Easily picking up there was De Los Santos, because he was just so back helping out. This is the other midfielder, Garcia. Gigu. Just a little tug there from Agostino. Got away with it. De Los Santos. Uruguay showing us their quality at the moment. Skoko lunges, couldn't get there. Well, Recoba, you know he's going to want to put it on his left foot. 10 times out of 10 he will go left, but it's still very hard to stop him. A little bit of curve on that one, and it could have threatened Schwartz's right-hand post. Waiting for this moment for such a long time. They've been talking about it amongst themselves for 2 years. Paul Ocon said during the week that with the other English players, he's text messaging them constantly, saying we're going to the World Cup, pumping them up for this particular two-match series. Regularly in contact with the likes of Lazaridis and Kuhl and Bosnich, Duca, all the English-based players. Australia have another couple of subs warming up. That's Marco Bresciano. Farina weighs up some options. Next to Bresciano was Steve Corica. Corica, perhaps a player that can unlock the Uruguayan defence. Be interesting to see who would come off for Corica. Perhaps Josip Skoko, but getting ahead of ourselves.
It sort of makes me think back 4 years when everybody blamed Terry Venables for not making the right change at the right time. And Frank Farina is now under the same sort of pressure. The right change, and you get a goal, and you're back in this game, or you lead this game, I should say.
Skoko. Well, the flag's down. Kuhl's chasing. Agostino rather is chasing. Kuhl's in support. An early cross from Agostino. It's a good ball from the corner there. No one was expecting that to come across, I don't think. Everton had moved inside. This is nice play from Uruguay. Recoba again. Moore forced to come and meet the ball. And he won the ball as well. What a great tackle that was. Now Harry Kuhl's turn. No cover on the fullback. Kuhl running at the defence. Well, Uruguay had the ball. It was a free kick to Uruguay. The referee decided to play on because the Uruguayans had the ball. Here's Kuhl again. This time he's got time to turn. Montero is screaming at his defenders as he out-jumped Viduka there. Here's Viduka again, holding the ball up. Ocon, Muscat went on his own. Well, just outside Kevin Muscat, Brett Emerton is screaming at him, saying, "Give it to me, son." Well, that was a foul, albeit very subtle. spotted by the Italian referee. As he backed up here, just took Tony Vidmar out of the game. It's great defending, and here's danger for Australia. Magallanes. Oh, more. Now look at the space. Uruguay with 4 players committed forward. I don't think I've seen that the whole match. More space for the likes of Kuhl. That's a brilliant ball. Agostino tried to take it on the turn. Emerton's coming in. There's a game here to be won by someone. It's open enough. There are more and more chances coming. Skoko now for Australia. Ocon. A little space for Ocon there, but he was surprised by Dos Santos. Muscat got there first. Emerton. A little ball in. Maduka holds it up. Muscat's deep cross. No one at the back post. Oh, that's a terrible clearance. Come on, Australia. That's the message from the crowd as they appreciate this spell in the game, which has been Australia's just for the last few minutes.
They've got to be careful at the other end. We've seen how quickly they can counter-attack. Craig Moore was on his own then with Cheventon, and that is a no-no because they will attack quickly.
Like here they come. This is a great move. This is Rakoba going in on goal. Moore watching him. Oh, was going in as well. Oh, what an audacious effort. Well, he had no right to shoot there. There was nothing on, and he almost squeezed it past Schwarzer.
Look at the job Craig Moore did again. Made up the ground, made sure that the ball was going to be shot and not crossed.
Well, it was definitely going in. Oh, that's well played indeed by Skoko for Emerton. A long ball into the corner that Agostino will have to hold up, and that's a foul. Agostino collected from behind there.
In fact, he was collected from the side there, Paul, with what was quite an ugly elbow from Montero, and the linesman was only yards away.
Well, it's an Australian free kick, but nothing more to it, as Montero continues his policing job on Agostino. Well, Kuhl will take the free kick in the absence of Lazaridis. Everyone's back for Uruguay. The match certainly feels like it's got a goal in it somewhere. Deep cross. The goalie's missed it. Oh! That is a goal kick. Murphy searching for a goal. It's still 0-0 at the MCG. Paul, it was just a little bit too much elasticity required for a big centre-back.
Yeah. Harry Kuhl stood out here after training, after even the cameraman, the media had gone home, and he must have pinged 24 balls into that area, into the top corner. He made his brother get them all out of the goal, and he did it all again. So just shows you, even the best in the world have to make sure they practice over and over again.
Going forward nicely for Tony Vidmar. Kuhl leaves in the space, but the flag's gone up. It's gone out on the far side. Well, we were led to believe Uruguay coming into this match are a team that starts strongly. It fades just a little bit in the second half because so many of their players aren't regular first teamers with their clubs in Europe. That is the case. should be seeing evidence of that very shortly. All of the Uruguayan bench are warming up. Perhaps the coach senses that as well. He just wants to freshen things up. That's well won back now, Emerton. Ocon in space. Feeds it early to Harry Kuehl. Kuehl running at the defence. Now there's two over there. A little ball across. Viduka was chasing. Viduka lunging. Well, he had every right to go for it, and the Uruguayan players just looking over Viduka. And he says it was a fair challenge. I don't think there was too much in that.
Absolutely, he had the right to go for it. There it is. Nobody's got it. Why not, Mark? But they're doing the right thing, the Socceroos. They're getting the ball wide to Harry Kuehl on that left-hand side. Brett Emerton is starting to come into the game. And now Scocco and Ocon are having more of the ball. They lost it there for 10 minutes. They were losing that midfield battle, but they seem to have got it back again.
Agostino was almost falling over as he took that header. Still, Recoba remains the danger for Australia as Ocon fouls Darian Rodriguez. Paul Ocon has never scored a goal for his country. He said during the week that he asked what the players do in their spare time. He says he's a self-confessed stretching freak. He's stretching his body constantly during the day to keep it loose, and limber as Recoba lost one in there, and Moore just waited well. He rooms by himself, he sticks to himself to a certain extent as well. He's certainly not the social organiser of the team. That job goes to Kevin Muscat, and that ball is still in play, and Emerton just calmly plays it back. It's a nice turn from Scocco. Over 20 minutes remaining, the flag's down, Kuehl is onside, 2 or 3 waiting in the centre, Agostino! Oh, it hit the post! What a header from Agostino! It was a super try, almost impossible to score from that kind of jump and range and everything else about it. He hurt himself in the process. And he's back on his feet now, he's holding his face. I just wonder if Australia are going to put the ball out now. Agostino's playing on, Emerton. Emerton again, into the area, Emerton. That's a corner.
Well, it's not through lack of trying, is it? They really are giving their all.
Well, Kuehl beat the offside trap first of all with a deep cross. And that came off the apex of the goal. I'm not so sure it came off Agostino, it may have come off the defender. And Agostino was holding his head because he clashed heads with the defender. We'd need another look at that, but either way, it's a corner to Australia. Well, that's gone out by Muscat. Well, as they say, it's a fine line between success and failure. A little bit of luck. Uruguay have proven very resolute defenders, but it's Australia asking all of the questions as we move into the final stage of the game. Montero trying to keep calm amongst the chaos out there. Viduka, 2 men on him, there's nowhere really for him to go, and that's intelligent play. Not a lot you can do in that situation. A change for Uruguay.
You mentioned the contribution of Brett Emerton in the second half here, how he's been prominent. I think that's been in large part due to the contribution of Kevin Muscat. Both he and Tony Vidmar have found themselves in forward positions, and when they've come forward, they've looked very good. Muskie's had a shot, and when he's doubled up with Emerton, made 2-on-1 out wide, it's made it a lot easier for Brett.
That's Guillermo Giacometti, who's come on. He's a midfielder. He's a fine talent. He's only 23 years of age, but he's a regular in Serie A in Italy with Lecce. Just spreading it wide to Tony Vidmar. So Giacometti is an out-and-out midfielder. He's replaced Magallanes, who's more of an attacker. So Uruguay trying to bolster the midfield and just close up shop for the rest of the game. They've just got two players forward now, Recoba and Chevonton, with an extra man in midfield to make it even harder for Australia. Probably, Paul, because Australia have been dominating the last 15 minutes.
They certainly have. Right through the middle of the park, they're getting on top. For the exact reason that Craig has suggested. The fullbacks are pushing up and allowing the midfield to get forward as well. They didn't do that against France. They're doing a terrific job of it now.
Chevonton still soldiering on, that lone striker. That's got to be an Australian free kick. Moore is a tough customer. Bit of a grimace from him, but it's take a lot to get him off this game. Take a lot to get any of the Australians off in this situation.
Craig Moore's been quite superb one-on-one at the back. He's been outstanding. What he doesn't want in that situation is to give away a free kick anywhere around the edge of the box.
Okay. Here comes Kuhl. Just couldn't get there. Just taken off his toes by Giacometti. And here is Kuhl now. Into the area, Harry Kuhl. Whipped across, no one there. Maduka was right in the centre of the goal, and it went over his head to the back post. Now, danger for Australia. Recoba running at the defence. Always in the back of the minds of the Australians is don't give away any free kicks in that situation. Here's Gigu. Recoba in space.
Tony Vidmar did a great job closing Recoba down there. He was on his way, and just shows you Tony Vidmar is a quick boy, he's strong.
The throw taken quickly by Kuhl to Viduka. That's a gently plotted header inside by Muscat. Skoko did well to get the pass away before he was closed down. Muscat, Emerton, Muscat again. There's no way past. There's 10 men behind the ball for Uruguay. Australia need Kuhl to try and unlock them. Here's Skoko. Muscat showing his own bit of South American flair there. Where did that come from? That was great play by Kevin Muscat.
Well, you're not top of the first division for nothing, you know, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
I suspect you didn't learn that at Wolverhampton Wanderers, though.
True.
Probably learned it off Harry at training. Or perhaps Everton. .5 minutes remaining. Official attendance tonight, 84,656. I've come to see an Australian goal. They've been patient. Still waiting for a breakthrough from the home side. Uruguay will be well happy with the scoreline at 0-0. got past his man. Still going Everton to the near post. It was a good ball in. That's got to be a corner. It is. Another change for Uruguay. This time, as we take a look at Brett Everton, this is Mario Reguero. The substitution is taking place, and it's Cheverton who's making way. Mario Reguero is another striker. He plays in Spain with Santander.
Is going on at Mario Reguero.
So Reguero gets about 13 minutes to make an impact for his country. Oh, that's a good chance! It was a very good chance. Paul Agostino was closing in on the cross. I don't think he could believe how much time and room he had. Out-jumped his man.
For any striker, that's a good chance, Paul, but for Paul Agostino, Australian soccer fans will know his aerial strength is his strength, and he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Well, Agostino really made his name with the goal against Uruguay. A headed goal it was as well in the World Youth Cup in 1993. Quite outstanding header. And Kuhl is doing some stuff here. Oh, that's a penalty! Australia have a penalty. Agostino went down. And with 12 on the clock, there is a crack in the Uruguayan armour at last. Now the question remains, who's the man for the job? Kevin Muscat has taken them in the past, and he scored them. Well, it's a clear push in the back. Agostino went down. All the defenders were immediately appealing for no penalty, which is generally a sign that they thought it was a penalty. Oh, Kevin Muscat, a Melbourne boy, focused, concentrating, scoring! That is what they came for. An Australian goal, and Kevin Muscat, the man that many said shouldn't be in the Australian team today because of his antics and a tackle against France, has made amends in the most almighty fashion. He held his nerve, he picked his spot, he scored for Australia in the World Cup.
He took 4 of these penalties yesterday. They all went to the goalkeeper's left. That one went right down the middle. It's a brave move. Most goalkeepers dive. And Carini didn't let us down.
Well, there's plenty of time left, about 10. As Uruguay seek to respond as quick as they can. An important stage of the game, this for Australia. 10 to go. 1 goal to defend. As Gigu comes in. Oh, Moore did well not to handle the ball there and clear it as well.
Who's thinking about 1997 now? Craig Foster, I bet you are.
Yes, I certainly am, but I'm sure there's enough experience on the park. We just saw Kevin Muscat put his foot through that ball, Wadey, and I'm sure he's one player who'll be making no fancy footwork in the last 10 minutes. He knows what went on 4 years ago. But as important as the home goal is, we know that keeping a clean sheet is equally as important. And Craig Moore at the back has been simply superb for the Socceroos.
And the Duca into the corner. Australian throw. He was complaining about the decision there. Number 16, Giacometti. Frank Farina said that he'd be happy with 1-0. There's time for more at both ends, I should add. It's offside.
Just going back to the penalty itself, I don't know whether you can remember, but it was Harry Kuehl skipping past. I think he actually pinched the ball off one of the Uruguayans, and that almost caught the Uruguayans off guard, because so many times that ball has gone into the 18-yard box and there's been 5 or 6 of them waiting. I think they were caught out by the fact that Harry Kuehl just pinched it without even, well, being expected to. No players in there. Agostino attacked it first, got his reward.
The writing was on the wall for Uruguay, because 4 times Kuehl has got behind their defence. His crosses have failed to find the mark, but that was beautiful across the face of the goal with Agostino closing in.
That's a clever ball from Tony Vidmar. Australia keeping their cool in a most rarefied atmosphere. It's a wild one from Murphy. Oh, that's brilliantly read by Tony Vidmar. No players forward with him. He just calmly turns back, keeps possession. Possession of the football is the most vital commodity for Australia now. Lembo doing a good job at the back. It's a defence that finally cracked under pressure, and it was looking like hanging in there. Duca, Ocon, Muscat. Little ball clipped in. Duca, what can he come up with? Well, the back heel was his intention, I think, to Skoko, but Australia mustn't commit too many forward. Great use of the body, but not according to the referee. Agostino just a little bit over physical there. Well, Craig, the temptation with the hype and the buzz around the ground is to just go forward at every opportunity. Great discipline required now.
Yes, and that was really the message that went out at half-time, Paul, from Frank Farina. And that was, don't get frustrated by the amount of possession that we've had. Stay patient, get the ball wide, stick to the game plan, and it has worked for them. But I just get the sense that there is enough experience in the back line. Craig Moore, Tony Vidmar, Kevin Muscat have all been outstanding.
Well, half-hearted appeals for a penalty there. A few nervous moments, a few hearts in mouths. Paul Wade's looking at me, shaking his head. Well, that is top class from Craig Moore, which sums up not just that little cameo there, but the match that he's had so far.
Well, I say if you're going to be a successful team, you have to have a great goalkeeper and a great defence. And Craig Moore has been every bit as good a defender as I've seen at international football level in the last two games.
To go at the MCG. Interesting to see what Uruguay do. Do they now really start to go for an equaliser, or do they settle for a 1-0 defeat, thinking that that will be enough for them to sort of play against it, Uruguay on Sunday? Will they be confident of picking Australia back from 1-0?
Well, it's difficult to tell from here, Craig, but the look on the Uruguayans' faces, does it say tired?
No, it doesn't. In fact, they've started to push higher up the pitch now rather than drop directly back.
Look at this. Australia must be very much on their toes at the back. There's plenty left in this game. Sorry, Craig, go on.
Sorry, Paul. So it's superb defence, but Paolo Montero is coming forward now, almost in a libero role, coming in front of his defence. So it's clear signs that in the last 5 minutes or 4 minutes here, they are going to try and put us to the sword.
Gigu, Muscat. Challenged by Muscat on Gigu. And the referee saying to Kevin Muscat to get up and get on with the game. And he's got himself a yellow card there, Muscat. There's no contact with the ball. And considerable contact with the player's shin, so I guess you can't complain about that really. This is where Australia must be extremely vigilant. Schwarzer hasn't had too much to do. Stick with your man's the instructions. The ball's curled in. Solid header by Murphy. No one was going to get to the ball before him. Harry Kewell, the most forward player for Australia. Not a great clearance. This is Gigu. It's a nice play from him. It's a good cross from him. There's Rakoba. Well, that's a goal kick.
Again, very solid work by Kevin Muscat as Rakoba went through there. He looked to half stumble. Any contact from Muscat could have been interpreted by the referee. Muscat just stood off him and let the ball go out.
It's a tough call for a defender because if you stand off him, he's likely to do something unbelievable with the ball. Yet you've got to stop him from playing as well. It's great defence by the Socceroos there. Gigu to Lembo. Australia win it back. Australia need the ball up the Uruguay end of the park if they're to just ease the tension and ease the pressure. 84,000 fans that would like it up there as well, so Schwarzer puts it right up the guts. That's a well one back. Oh, that's a mistake by Tony Vidmars, a player free on the left. Closing down, it's going to come off Murphy. It did for a corner, but it's mistakes like that that can cost matches, that can cost World Cup places. It's a corner to Uruguay. Australia still organising themselves. Schwarzer off his goal line. Doesn't come for it. It's an Australian head on the ball. That's a great cross. Good header. How close was that from Uruguay? We've seen a couple flash past that post earlier on from De Los Santos. That one was from Lembo, the defender, about 2 metres wide, but close enough to cause some heart flutters. We're in the last minute of the game. Australia win possession and win a free kick.
Well, if you're an Aussie fan, that's the best free kick we've seen all night.
Montero, a stud showing on Josip Skoko. The trainers allowed on. They'll give Australia a chance to take the sting out of this Uruguayan onslaught, which has been considerable in the last 5 minutes or so. Still waiting to see how long we've got to play on. There is the man with the sign. It's just 2 minutes, but there'll be a little bit longer while we wait for Skoko's injury.
Yeah, so we talked about experience before, Paul, and I don't know how injured Josip is, but it is the perfect time to have a lie down for a couple of minutes.
Imagine what's going through these Uruguayan minds. They're a goal down, away from home. They'll arrive in Montevideo 18 hours after the Socceroos. They've already travelled halfway around the world. Gee, you have to be tough to play at this level psychologically.
Kewell's over the ball. He's curled it around the wall. The goalkeeper just pushed it into the ground. It was just a little bit of an awkward bounce there for Carini. Now the fans want the final whistle to be blown. No chances now at the back for Australia. Paul Ocon said at times it may be ugly football, but he didn't care as long as they win. If ever there's a time for ugliness on a football field, now is it. As Australia try and see out perhaps another minute.
Well, in 8 attempts, 2 losses and 6 draws at home, we've never won a World Cup qualifier in Australia, Paul.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is our time.
Well, that's an Australian free kick, quite clearly. Australia celebrate a marvellous victory. There's a couple of monkeys off their back after this one. The MCD jinx has been broken. The World Cup drawing or losing at home in crucial matches, hoodoo has disappeared because the Socceroos will go to Montevideo with a 1-goal advantage here. What a brilliant second half it was. The match itself was superb, but the performance by this Australian team was absolutely outstanding. Agostino went down in the penalty area, a push in the back, the referee pointed to the spot, and it was Kevin Muscat who kept his calm and kept his cool and put Australia in with a great chance of qualifying for the World Cup next year. Australia 1, Uruguay 0.
Sports
Has